Yeah, he's a bit skinny, isn't he? Needs fattening up. I'm joined now by award-winning wine writer and author Linda Johnson-Bell. Linda, you've brought some ice wine in. Who knew the Chinese producing great wine? Very comparable, I understand, with what's coming out of Austria, Germany, and even Canada.
Very much so. In fact, the Chinese now, their ice wine production exceeds that of both Germany and Canada, our two more traditional regions. And the reason is because, first of all, they have over 500,000 hectares of vines planted, which is 3 times the size of Australia. They have a lot of space. But the real issue is climate. Both Canada and Germany are having problems having the cold enough temperatures to have the grapes freeze when they're supposed to freeze. China, and has this region here where this winery is located, is in northeast China, which is up by the Russian and North Korean border. So ice wine is very different from a sweet wine in so much that it's expensive because it's so labor intensive.
But comparable in price, you were saying.
These Chinese, they're a bit cheeky charging this much because of the new players on the field, but it doesn't escape the fact that the labor is there. You have to wait until the grapes are mature, and then before they rot, you have to hope a freeze comes, like -8°C, and then you have to pick them. So sometimes you only have a very small window, and in this region in China happens to provide all the perfect conditions for this to happen.
So we saw the very dark colour of that being poured into the glasses in that report there, and you were talking to me about very apricot-y flavours, very sweet flavours. So what does it go with? How do we drink it?
You would treat it like a sweet wine, like a Sauterne or Montbazillac, and it's. But I think an ice wine has that extra spicy kick that you can put it with actually iced puddings. But drink it with chocolate, drink it with cheeses, of course. Any blue cheeses especially is a perfect marriage.
Do you put it on ice as well?
I had it for breakfast over my raspberries and Greek yogurt, so it goes with everything. But it's very exciting what's happening in China.
So in terms of sales, the Chinese, of course, very versatile, very good at adapting them and changing and moving in with technology and bottling plants and everything else to nail this one down. In terms of it being new to the British market, is this a must-have for Christmas? Is this the new must-have Christmas present this year?
It's exciting because, yes, it's a must-have. Ice wine in itself is a novelty. It's because it is so rare. So whether it's Canadian or German or Chinese, but I think the fact that it's Chinese is the extra bonus in making it even more novel. And I'll be visiting there. I can't wait to go. We're filming a documentary on wine and climate change, and that's why everyone's racing to China. Everyone complains the Chinese are taking over Burgundy and Bordeaux and Chablis, but we are just as much investing there. We've got Pernod Ricard and everybody buying land all over China. It's looking for the new cool climates and looking for the new terroir and the new regions, the new classic wines. So China, we don't know if it's good or bad. The jury's out, but it's very exciting.
So, well, you say that, but you were saying they're making a pretty good job of it, and it's delicious.
Are
they bringing in expertise from other parts of the world?
For example, yes, this chateau have brought in Aurora, the winery in Ontario, doing ice wine, and they have an Austrian winemaker with them also. So the estates, and again, this winery has been going in China since 1892. People forget.
Oh, so they have experience.
Very much so.
Right.
So, and they are partnering up with Western partners. There have been some health and safety scares in the past because it's a bit unregulated industry, but that's I think a thing of the past, and we're seeing some excellent wines coming out. But to watch, because it takes a long time. It's not like fashion. You can't just change a miniskirt from one season to the next. Wine can take a decade before you figure out if you got the right thing or not.
So if people do fancy getting themselves a bottle of Chinese ice wine for Christmas, what's it great with? Is it good with some Stollen, good with some Christmas pud?
It would be beautiful if you have any like pâtés, even if you're starting with the pâtés, and definitely with the pudding course. The Christmas pudding cake would be perfect.
It's amazing to talk to you and see that. Thank you, Linda Johnson-Bell. Good to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.